Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good whatever it is you want to celebrate. Story time. Chicken Licken. Let me just wet the whistle. You may already know this story. So just get my ta-da. Right. Try and get us into position. Okay. Chicken Licken. One fine day, Chicken Licken went for a walk in the woods. Now, Chicken Licken was not very bright, and he was also rather inclined to act first and think after. So, when an acorn fell on his head, he decided immediately that the sky must be falling in. He set off as fast as he could to tell the king. On the way, he met Henny Penny and Cocky Locky. "I am off to tell the king that the sky is falling in," he clucked importantly. "We will come too," said Henny Penny and Cocky Locky. So, Chicken Licken, Henny Penny, and Cocky Locky set off to find the king. On the way, they met Ducky Lucky and Drakey Lakey. "We are off to tell the king that the sky is falling in," clucked Chicken Licken importantly. "We will come too," said Ducky Lucky and Drakey Lakey. So, Chicken Licken, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Drakey Lakey all set off to find the king. On the way, they met Goosey Lucy and Turkey Lurkey. "We are off to tell the king that the sky is falling in," clucked Chicken Licken importantly. "We will come too," said Goosey Lucy and Turkey Lurkey. So, Chicken Licken, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Drakey Lakey, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey all set off to find the king. On the way, they met Foxy Loxy. "We're off to tell the king that the sky is falling in," clucked Chicken Licken importantly. "What a good thing I met you all," said Foxy Loxy with a cunning smile. "I know the way. Follow me." So, Chicken Licken, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Drakey Lakey, Goosey Lucky, Goosey Lucky, and Turkey Lurkey all set off behind Foxy Loxy. He led them all straight to his den, where he ate every single one of them for his dinner. So the king never heard that the sky was falling in. It didn't, of course. And that is the story of Chicken Licken. Short, brief, but I hope you like it. And there is more. Give me a second. I'll get my notes. And we can stop the camera. Right, my notes. Because it is an important tale, as many children's stories are, and in the world we live in today, it's worth going over them. So a huge A huge error in misinterpreting what happens leads to not only a failure to do reality checks, but go into a state of emotional fear, which triggers not survival mode, rather self-importance mode. How so? If he indeed were worried about his survival, he would have run for cover, or tell the other animals to run. Instead, he wants them to join him in his momentous occasion. He goes around importantly, as stated, proud of his discovery. He takes the opportunity to bask in the glory of his recognition. This is a chicken with low self-esteem, and now has a chance to shine. Why does he say importantly? Well, when you receive an acorn of information that you feel is monumental, and you are the only one privy to it, you become big-headed. You are now special. You have been ordained with this knowledge. His leaps in logic leads him to a conclusion. As far as he's concerned, it's the only possible conclusion there is. So sure of himself, he does not need clarification. To him, these are not feelings mistaken for facts. No, he has proof, you see, a bump on his head. It is true an acorn did fall on his head, but it doesn't make his assumption that the sky is falling in any more plausible. And here we see how emotions can easily overthrow logic, especially where logic is not present. Quick to respond and not slowing down to question, not thinking before you act, and repeatedly doubling down in each encounter with the other animals. Chicken Licken isn't totally to blame for what happened to the other animals. They also share or carry their own degree of responsibility. But with such passion and conviction, the other animals who are unsure just blindly take his word for it. For if a silly chicken knew better than they themselves, it would be embarrassing. So along they shall go, pride before fall. Oh, how dangerous the situation spirals out of control. Given some time, usually confirmation bias is added. And what if we did reach the king? Chicken may think he's being responsible by wanting to inform the king, however, isn't responsible enough to check his information. The king is a symbol of rule and order to make decisions. Any animal or man in this sense is the king of their own mind, but only if they can be responsible, which is why the chicken without any responsibility cannot be a king, even though he tried to make decisions and govern other animals or people, which is why he should not be believed without being questioned. Why didn't the fox also think the sky was falling in? Well, the fox saw dinner, which was far more important. Fox is normally in stories a creature depicted as more cunning and intelligent. Fox is more observant, assesses, he questions, he sees the bigger picture, and even if he did believe the sky was falling in, he's still going to have his dinner first. So Chicken was right to be scared for his life, however, scared for the wrong reasons. I did like the bit at the end of the story where it says, "It didn't, of course," because the author knows that some anxious folk out there would still be worried and would need some reassuring. So we can't take stupidity for granted. To us, this is a silly story, but the ease at which it seems to happen is far too common these days. And through our arrogance, we do not want to think we are wrong. Because if we are wrong, it means we don't understand the reality of the world we live in. Besides embarrassment or feeling ashamed, it fractures our sense of security and who we are. If you don't know the world around you, how do you know where you fit in it? This fear of the unknown out there contrasts with the fear of the knowing who you are as a person. And it works both ways. If you don't know who you are, how can you possibly understand the world outside accurately? Your external view becomes based on emotional extensions. So the animals follow as to not feel stupid, even though that's exactly how they're behaving. The absurdity of this idea is insulting to believe it could happen, but it's all too apparent. We see it happening all around us. With the reality of the world being mystifying for many, it may as well be magical. For a child, this is okay. They love magic and fantasy. But as we grow older, if we cannot become more logical, the magical world hits its limits and becomes harder to navigate. We have to make leaps in logic for it to continue to make sense. It has to become even more magical. The child doesn't need to do this because they are guided through it, hence why I'm guiding you right now. So this might indicate the point at which this becomes a problem in wider societal levels, when the child is expected to bridge over to maturity and they can't. This could be something schooling needs to address to avoid rushing children into adulthood ill-prepared. Chicken Licken is not a baby chick. He lacks supportive life skills, parenting and schooling. Had he been educated properly, he would have realized it was not the sky that was falling in, rather his brains falling out, or his emotions spilling out into the world, his projections. And no, the acorn is not a plot to depopulate the planet, it's natural selection. So what do you do if you encounter a chicken licking type person? Well, leave them to it. You don't have to argue. Chicken licking wouldn't listen. It was not logic he was after. It was recognition, attention. Either he would have been eaten by the fox, or he would have found he survived the end of the world, and to him, this would have been a brave act, and he would have felt himself a true hero. What you can do is not allow yourself to compromise your sensibilities and to beware of the chicken or the people with chicken brains. But anyway, that was my take on chicken licking and the importance of be careful what you blindly follow. Exercise critical thinking, and I bid you all a good day and a good night, and thank you for watching.